Artifacts don't lie, but they have a story to tell. On the morning of April 19th, 1775, Captain Parker and the Lexington militia took casualties from the British column as it was coming out from Boston. Later in the day, they rallied and they came out to the boundary of Lexington, of their town, to stand and wait for that British column to return. A question that has been in the minds of the Minuteman National Historical Park, as well as the Friends of the Park and the community of reenactors in the region, has been, is that actually where the battle was? Or perhaps was it somewhere else? We focused on about 25 acres with metal detecting surveys, or metallic surveys, in order to actually identify, to locate and map and retrieve artifacts or musket balls that were actually fired on that day by the colonial militia and also by the British soldiers. The Parker's Revenge battle was actually identified as being on that granite outcrop over there. And with the research that we've done and the evidence that we've uncovered, we've actually moved the battle from the outcrop down the hillside and placed it right by the water feature. Because of the spatial distribution of the musket balls that we found during our investigations, we are able to interpret the action of that battle. Most likely, the British column, as they were retreating quickly from Northbridge, were ordered to come out and align on the water feature or the seep feature that we have at the bottom of the hill. The colonial force of the Lexington militia fired once on that line. And we believe this because those musket balls, the fired colonial musket balls, are grouped in a 40-meter line at the bottom of the hill. We believe after the colonial militia fired those, they actually got their gear, turned, and ran right out behind me along this contour and up along the back of the hill to meet the British further down the road in the next battle. When they were running, we believe that the British finished deploying, they turned, and they fired at the retreating colonial militia. And we can say that because the British fired musket balls are distributed all along this hillside. So we believe the British fired most likely just once based on the number of musket balls and their distribution, and then with bayonets attached would have run after those fleeing colonial militia to drive them off of the hill. Thanks to the archaeological investigations during the Parker's Revenge project, we mapped and identified not only the location of the Parker's Revenge battle, but the action that took place during that exchange of fire. All of the historical documentation and research that existed prior to this project contributed to the body of knowledge, but it was only when we started to put the trowel in the ground that we were able to confirm and map the Parker's Revenge battle. That is why it is so important to continue to engage archaeological investigations on battlefields.